So I wanted to talk about this because Halloween has always been one of my favorite holidays, but there seems to be some movement to try and take the fun out of Halloween, and I wanted to try and address that. So I'm pretty sure that if you have a Twitter account, you've seen this article from Cosmopolitan essentially saying that if you want to dress up your kid as Moana this Halloween, might not be the best thing to do. Side note, I also just want to point out that if you have an article about culture, about wanting to protect culture, or things like that, and your name is Cosmopolitan, what are you doing? Then, coming from that, you see tweets from other people agreeing about people happy to call people who dress their kid up as Moana out, people who want to make these claims of cultural appropriation, which which is honestly very hilarious because I think people are forgetting what the whole point of Halloween is, at least in terms of the modern way we celebrate Halloween. So what I want to do with this video is I want to kind of give a gentle reminder to these people about what Halloween is. So the whole point of Halloween, you dress up in a costume, you go trick-or-treating, or you attend a party with your friends, you just have a little bit of fun. The whole point of Halloween is that you're supposed to dress up, you're supposed to be in costume, you're supposed to be something that you aren't. You see, I could be Finn, or I could be Jake the Dog, or I could be BoJack Horseman, or I could be anybody who isn't me. The whole point of a costume is that you aren't who you are. You're in a disguise. You're playing a character. You're playing a role. You're putting on a show. You are becoming somebody or something else. So, of course, you're never going to fully understand the character you're adopting simply because you aren't that character. You're never going to be that caricature that you're playing because you are not that caricature. That's the whole point of a costume, because you aren't that person. So, to an extent, people who cry cultural appropriation are somewhat correct because there is that disparity in understanding that is always going to exist no matter what character you're going to put off. But heck, that's not necessarily the best that's not necessarily the best reason, rather, for you to cry cultural appropriation for anyone who tries to dress up as anything. Heck, you can barely even fully understand yourself to begin with. Like, the whole point of life is that it's a journey of understanding yourself. What more, trying to become someone else you aren't. So even if it was about understanding yourself, that's not really the best angle for cultural appropriation criers to come from. And I recognize the point SJW types are trying to come from. Like, how could you even understand? You don't know their life experience. Well, you don't know ours. You don't know the life experience of Moana because you aren't Moana. So why are you trying to speak up for her, even though she doesn't exist? Come on, guys. Let's take a step back and recognize that this is Halloween. Halloween is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a time when you're all with your friends, just hanging out, dressing up as your favorite characters, and just having a good time. That's what the whole point of Halloween is. And I also understand that some people are going to be rude about being able to dress up as another person. They're gonna play on stereotypes. They're gonna wear a sombrero and say that they're a Mexican or slutty Mexican. They're gonna wear a headdress and say they're a Native American. Things like that. And I do recognize where social justice warrior types are coming from with their reservations about that. To say that, oh, it's inaccurate, oh, it's playing on stereotypes, oh, it's offensive. But we have to also remember that Halloween isn't about being accurate. That's not what Halloween was always about. Halloween's about fun. If Halloween was about being accurate, if it was about being academic, if it was about proper representation, then maybe we can talk about how accuracy would be an issue in terms of people wearing caricatures of cultural costumes. But Halloween isn't about that. Halloween isn't about academia. Halloween isn't about proper representation. Halloween is about becoming somebody you aren't. Halloween is about dressing up, to be a character, to be someone different from yourself, to dress up as someone else, to become somebody else. And that's why even if people are being rude about their costumes, it's okay for that to happen because Halloween isn't about accuracy. Halloween isn't about proper representation. And you know what's even funny about this is that speaking about what Halloween is about, for all of you cultural appropriation criers out there, if you didn't know, the origins of Halloween come from Celtic culture. So, checkmate. So if you're going to celebrate Halloween, you're effectively erasing the Celtic meaning, the Celtic significance behind Halloween. So what do you say to that, social justice warriors? So even the ideology based around the whole no to cultural appropriation during Halloween stance is ultimately self-defeating, because to celebrate Halloween is to erase the meaning behind the Celtic holiday, behind Celtic culture of Halloween. So, what now? So, I think if anything, like what I'm trying to say in this video is that let's all just take a deep breath. Let's all take a step back. Let's all just forget about the stresses of the real world. Let's all forget about the things that make us worry. Let's all just forget about the things that make life hard for one night, for one instance. Let's all just enjoy Halloween, and let's all just have fun with it. Let's just try to have fun.